Hey guys, welcome back to Jack on Tracks. And here we go with the fun stuff. We're gonna actually start. Building stuff. What I got here is a fast track jig. This jig is for code 70 rail, dual gauge. So I'm gonna have dual gauge on my big layout. So I needed dual gauge switches, and this one I already put together. Looks pretty good, you know. It This is the fast sticks, quick sticks, or whatever they call these things. Goes on here. These are gonna look pretty good when it's all done. I just gotta clean this up. Everything else. That's code 70. This is a code 100 track that I made, and I made that by just basically holding these PC boards in over the photocopy, and just tacking them in where I thought where they're supposed to be on both sides, and it's pretty good. You guys are gonna do this. You need these track gauges. You need them. This is a Katie. I'm actually gonna order the ones from Fast Tracks when I put my next order in. So this is actually within code. So pretty good. You know, it's actually pretty decent. You know, and that's the other thing. Even if it's not, it's close to where it needs to be. So you can clip these on, do a little touch up of the, put a little heat on the solder, and it'll loosen it up, and it'll move it right back into place. So that's that. But yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these PC boards, and I'm gonna actually use the hot glue, and I'm gonna glue them over each one of these spots that they need to be at, so a little more solid. So when I put everything in, I hold everything in place with set everything in place, and I put the track gauges on it. Everything will be a little bit more tight in the tolerance. This one's I don't know, 60% done, but it came out pretty good. So I'm going to go from there. You know, if you want to learn more about fast tracks, these are actually really cool. If you're gonna build a huge yard, economically, this is actually more economic. It's really not that hard. If it was that hard, I wouldn't be able to do it. Basically, everything you see here is what you need, except for a soldering iron, which I actually have upstairs because I was doing something. But you need a set of files. You really just need a triangle file and a bastard flat file. This is a cheap set that I got from Home Depot. And what's nice about that is I already had a bastard file, and this is like a coarse file, and this one's actually finer, so it makes a nice finish on the rails when you're done. And a set of small jeweler files too, if you really want to clean everything up. You need a wire brush because you're gonna want to scrub up all your solder joints, clean them up, get a lot of gunk off of there. You know, so they don't oxidize that much, or they don't oxidize at all. You're gonna need, there's a stockade tool, there's a frog tool. You're gonna need a frog tool. Luckily, this one does 70 to 100, so I don't have to get an extra one of those. There's a stockade tool, and it does 70 to code 100, code 83. It doesn't work perfectly, but it still works for this code 100 track. You just have to do a little more hand fitting once it's out of the jig. Before they came up with that, people used to do these by hand, so it isn't, that's the luxury for doing it. I mean, these came out pretty good. So we're gonna go from there. I'm gonna take you along for this ride. But I will highly recommend it if you do buy this setup and you're gonna go do it. This is like another, I think, $18 for this box. It's a breakdown box. It comes as a little kit you put it together. This thing is slick. It is really nice. Listen, if you're gonna spend the money on this, another $18 to secure your stuff and keep your stuff neat and clean, spend the money. Don't be cheap. I mean, I'm relatively cheap, kind of ish, and that thing was that was the biggest. That was. It took me a little convincing to buy that, but I'm so happy I did it. Uh, Most of the stuff they do, or all the stuff they do, is on micro engineering rail. I'm using Code 100 and Atlas only because Code 100 Atlas is readily available in this area. And if for some reason I find that I can't actually build these switches by hand without a jig, I'm not buying a jig. I can't afford to buy a jig just to do a layout, to do one module. If I'm deciding I'm going to build a couple more modules with Code 100 for the Hot Tracks group, I'll go buy a number 6 switch thing in 100 because then that'll make sense to me. But right now, it's under $100 and something. This is a dual gauge one, and this is a left-hand dual gauge. That means the dual gauge is on the everything's on the left side. If it was right-handed, the main track would be on the right side. That makes sense because it doesn't make sense to me, but that's the way it is. So I actually need I need the opposite of this. I need the right side to make my crossovers. So I'm gonna have to pick up one of those, and these are about $190 each. But when you figure out the price of a dual gauge switch, it's more effective to do it this way. All right, guys. I'm just gonna clean up, set up, and kill whatever is destroying my house upstairs that you can hear in the background. But all right. So we'll be back in a few minutes. All right, we got that fixed. Let's get back at it. All right, that one. All right, so let's. This is what I was planning to do. Hot glue. All right, I think we're cooking with gas. I think that's gonna work. All right, so this one I'm not doing anything with. We're gonna put that in later. All right. On the standard gauge stuff, where you put this cut is really not that critical so much. But man, when you do the dual gauge stuff, boy. All right. I'm gonna fast forward through this part now. All right. All right. Looking pretty good. You got 3 more to go. Yep, that one didn't go in the right spot, so just glue set up a little bit. Yeah, I'm doing this on top of glass for a reason, because it makes it easier to take it off. I'm hoping. All right. So we have all of our PC ties cut, tied, and locked down. And this one, now that I'm looking at it a little bit more from the front, looks like this one might not be cut, might not be in the exact spot I need it to be. But that's not a problem because it's cooled down now. That one's cooled down now. So we're going to pop it up. And we're going to pick out that glue. I'm gluing that one in upside down. I cut both sides of that. I want to glue it upside down. So let's fix that. Make sure that tie is, yeah, that looks good. Even though it's a little off here, we'll just nip that off. Some of these are a little, off a little bit, but reality, railroad ties aren't perfect either. So, and with a prototypical accident. They believe that one? All right. So, listen, I'm gonna do this next series of videos. I'm gonna try to do them kind of short because obviously you guys know I don't mind talking, and it gets a little long-winded. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna end this video here with these in place, and I'll call that one done. So, once again, like and subscribe, and most of all, thanks for watching. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd just be some idiot flapping his gums on YouTube. So, to nobody. But, once again, thank you. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And as always, catch you later.